may be wondering, it's not Friday. Well, then quarantine's just getting to you, because it is Friday. And so, I have my little cuddly rainbow fluffy cake. You right there. And I've got a book. It's story time with Serenity. Today we're going to be reading Stone Soup. So I've actually read this book before I did this because I just did. So it's really cool. It's fun. So let's just get reading because this is a very long intro. I like reading. Why am I being so crazy today? I think I had too much. I had too many Fruit Loops. 3 soldiers trudged down a road in a strange country. They were on their way home from the wars. Besides being tired, they were hungry. In fact, they had eaten nothing for 2 days. That's just crazy. I can't sit. I would get so hungry I would just die. I like eating. How I would like a good dinner tonight, said the first. In the bed to sleep in, said the second. But that is impossible, said the third. We must march on. Suddenly, ahead of them, they saw lights of a village. Maybe we will find a bite to eat there, said the first. And a loft to sleep in, said the second. No harm in asking, said the third. Now the peasants of that place feared strangers. When they heard that three soldiers were coming down the road, they talked among themselves. Here come 3 soldiers. Soldiers are always hungry, but we have little enough for ourselves. And they hurried to hide their foods. They pushed sacks of barley under the hay in the lofts. They lowered buckets of milk down the wells. They spread old quilts over the carrot bins. They hid their cabbages and potatoes under the beds. They hung their meat in the cellars. They hid all they had to eat. They waited. Soldiers stopped first at the house of Paul and Francois. Good evening to you, they said. Could you spare a bit of food for 3 hungry soldiers? We had no food for ourselves for 3 days, said Paul. Francois made a sad face. It has been a poor harvest. The 3 soldiers went on to the house of Albert and Louise. Could you spare a bit of food? And have you some corner where we could sleep for the night? Oh no, said Albert. We gave all we could spare to soldiers who came before you. Our beds are full, said Louise. Poor soldiers. At Vincent and Marie's, the answer was the same. It was a poor harvest and the grain must be kept for seed. So it went all through the village. Not a peasant had any food to give away. They all had good reasons. One family had used the grain for feed. Another had an old sick father to care for. All had too many mouths to fill. The villagers stood in the street and sighed. They looked as hungry as they could. 3 soldiers talked. Ah, it's Paige. Then the first soldier called out, "Good people." The peasants drew near. "We are 3 hungry soldiers in a strange land. We have asked you for food and you have no food. Well, then we'll have to make stone soup." Doesn't sound appetizing. I don't like stones in my soup. I do not like that. It gets better. The peasants stared. Stone soup? That's how I would say it, at least. That would be something to know about. First, we'll need a large iron pot. The soldiers said. Peasants brought the largest pot they could find. But how else to cook enough? "That's none too large," said the soldiers, "but it will do. And now, water to fill it and a fire to heat it." It took many buckets of water to fill the pot. A fire was built on the village square, and the pot was set to boil. And now, if you please, 3 round, smooth stones. These were easy enough to find. The peasants' eyes grew round as they watched the soldiers drop the stones into the pot. "Any soup needs salt and pepper," said the soldiers as they began to serve. Children ran to fetch salt and pepper. Stones like these generally makes good soup, but oh, if there were carrots, it would be much better. "Well, I think I have a carrot or 2, said Francois, and off she ran. She came back with her apron full of carrots from the bin beneath the red quilt. A good stone soup should have cabbage, but the soldiers said as they sliced the carrots into the pot. "But no use asking for what you don't have. I think I could find a cabbage somewhere," said Marie, and she hurried home. She came back with 3 cabbages from the cupboard under the bed. Well, here it looks like she has way more than 3, but okay. The picture looks like more. It's maybe just because it's big and I'm just seeing a lot of cabbage leaves. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. If only we had a bit of beef and a few potatoes, the soup would be good enough for a rich man's table. Peasants thought that over. They remembered their potatoes and the sides of beef hanging in the cellars. They ran to fetch them. A rich man's soup, all from a few stones. It seemed like magic. "Ah," sighed the soldiers as they stirred in the beef and potatoes. "Only we had a little barley and a cup of milk. The soup would just be fit for the king himself." Indeed, he asked for such a soup when last he dined with us. "And now you's asking for what you don't have," the soldiers sighed. Peasants brought their barley from the loughs and their milk from their wells. They stirred the barley and milk into the steaming broth while peasants stared. At last the soup was ready. "All of you shall taste," the soldiers said. "But first a table must be set." Great tables were placed in the square, and all around were lighted torches. Such a soup! How good it smelled truly fit for a king. Then the peasants asked themselves, would not such a soup require bread and roast and cider? Soon a banquet was spread and everyone sat down to eat. There had never been such a feast. Never had the peasants tasted such soup. And fancy, made from stone. They ate and drank, and after that, they danced. Dance party. They danced and sang far into the night. At last, they were tired. 3 soldiers asked, is there not a loft where we could sleep? Let 3 such wise and splendid gentlemen sleep in loft indeed. They must have the best beds in the village. The first soldier slept in the priest's house. The second soldier slept in the baker's house. And the third soldier slept in the mayor's house. In the morning, the whole village gathered in the square to give them a send-off. Many thanks for what you have taught us, the peasants said to the soldiers. We shall never go hungry, now that we know how to make soup from stove. Oh, it's all going out, said the soldiers, and off they went down the road. That is a very great book. I like it, and I love it, and it's in front of my face, and now it's not in front of my face. I'm being so weird. So we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's another video waiting for you next week on Monday. So, on Monday, we're doing things. So, bye. Love you. Mwah. Digital hug.